Hello my friends and welcome to The Simple Sober Life. I am Joshua and I help others make small changes in their life so that they can create a life of awesome. Thank you so much for joining me, my friends, and welcome back to another low-carb Sunday meal prep. I do meal preps on Sundays for the entire week, and I do breakfast and lunch so that I can cut back on the carbs that I've been ingesting and lose a little bit more weight. Now, fun fact, this is a shirt that I pulled out of a box that I was keeping of clothes that I couldn't wear yet. And luckily enough, I have lost over about 40 pounds in the last couple of months following, these low carb recipes and this meal plan. And I can now fit into clothes that I haven't been able to wear in years. I'm also, although you can't see it right now, wearing a size 34 jean, where I was a 38. So I've just been dropping pounds like crazy, it feels so incredible. I feel so much more like myself. I've got more energy, I'm more vibrant. I can actually look in the mirror and be like, I look good today, which is a wonderful feeling. And so it all plays into that physical health, that mental health, really doing something for yourself that will benefit you mentally and physically. And so that's why I create these videos on Sunday. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to add a little bit more other than meal prepping, but let's stick to this right now. But for today, I am making a creamy Tuscan style chicken. And I'm going to be doing it in the crock pot. And I absolutely love crock pot recipes. To me, there is nothing better. You throw a couple of things in the crock pot, couple hours, it's done. There's little cleanup and it doesn't take a lot of time. So for this recipe, it should only take about 15 minutes to prep. And then I'm gonna throw it in the crock pot for about 6 to 8 hours. I'll check it later on to see how it's doing. But for this recipe, I'm going to show you exactly what we need. All right, for the creamy Tuscan style chicken, we obviously need chicken. The recipe calls for 4 large breasts, about 6 ounces each. Calls for spinach, which we'll actually add in at the very end. Calls for chicken broth, Parmesan cheese, garlic, which if you followed any of my videos, garlic pretty much goes in everything. Salt and pepper, sun-dried tomatoes, heavy whipping cream, and some Italian seasoning. All right, I'm going to start off by putting my chicken in the crock pot. I should have cut that fat off, I forgot. I don't like the fat on the chicken, it's kind of grosses me out, but we'll work with it for now. I'm gonna add salt and pepper. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. I'm going to add my sun-dried tomatoes. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of chicken broth. More chicken broth will go in the actual cream sauce. I just want this to keep the chicken moist while I'm making that sauce. Just a little bit. We'll go ahead and cover that up and get to making our cream sauce. All right, for the cream sauce, we're gonna heat up a little bit of olive oil. Let that heat up just a little bit. And the recipe says that to heat up 6 cloves of garlic. I'm not exactly sure how much that is, and I would add more anyway, so apparently the health benefits of garlic are just crazy. So we're gonna let that saute. I'm actually gonna bring my heat down so it doesn't burn. All right, that should be a good saute heat. We added 1/3 cup of chicken broth, 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, and we're gonna let that come up to a simmer. All right. That cream will get it simmering pretty quickly, so make sure to watch it. And once it starts to simmer, drop it down to a lower heat so that it's not simmering anymore, but still getting some sort of heat. And then slowly we're going to whisk in our Parmesan cheese. The entire recipe calls for 3/4 cup, but it suggests to whisk in 1/4 cup at a time. Let the Parmesan cheese melt completely before adding any more. I had to turn up my heat a little bit because that cheese on the bottom isn't melting. So we can see it's starting to get thicker. And it should stick to the whisk or like the back of a spoon. That's when you know it's ready to go. Let's get a spoon out and test that. So you can see it sticks to the back of the spoon. I think I might want mine a little creamier or a little thicker. So I might add a little bit more cheese. But the flavor's good. I'm gonna add a little more cheese just to thicken it up just a hair more. And once that's to the right consistency, we're just gonna pour it over the chicken in the crock pot and let it do its thing. All right, we are just gonna pour the cream sauce right over top of the chicken. Now we want a majority of the sauce to be on the chicken rather than in the bottom of the crock pot. According to the recipe, this will help keep the chicken moist and add more flavor. So I think I did a pretty good job there. You can tell not all of my cheese was totally melted there at the end, but hopefully that turns out okay. And then we'll just cover it right back up, and I'll check on it in about 6 hours. So while filming this recipe, my ring light completely bit the bullet. Here's a tip for you. If you're passionate about something, invest money in the proper equipment. Don't cheap out like I did with this ring light. I paid maybe 20 bucks for it. I'm like, all right, it'll suit me for a while. I've had it for maybe 2 months, and now the stupid thing won't even stay up. Like I totally stripped the screw, trying to move it around. And this thing has been, I could tell it was cheap as soon as I got it, and I've never really liked it. So now guess who's gonna have to buy a new ring light? So word to the wise, if you are passionate about something, make sure to put the money into it so that you get what you want, not what you can afford. You know, save up a little more, wait a little longer, and get what you want. And I should have known this. I've done video for years. I should have known I shouldn't cheap out on some crappy light. I should actually get what I want when I've saved up enough money to actually get it. But it served its purpose. Maybe I can find a screw or something to work on it, but I'm not going to be filming the breakfast portion. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm just gonna be scrambling some eggs with some onion and sausage and taking in breakfast burritos on a low carb wrap. I will show you the wraps that I'm using though. I found these wraps and I'm amazed at not only how little carbs they have, but they are really, really good. They're soft and they stay soft. And it's these Olay makes them. They're extreme wellness wraps. I'll hold it up so you all can see it. And they come in a variety of flavors. I've got spinach and herb here. I also have a wheat one, a honey wheat one. And I know that they have tomato, basil, and things like that. They're great for like wraps, like little snack wraps of meat and cheese in it. I make breakfast burritos with it. When Katie makes like Mexican food tacos, I'll use these instead of flour tortillas. But the net carbs in them, remember we take the total carbs minus the dietary fiber. There's only 4 grams of carbs in each tortilla. That is really cool, because I was looking at Walmart on regular tortillas and some of them are like 25 grams of carbs per tortilla. Crazy. And these are, in my opinion, even better. So I hope you enjoyed that tip. We're gonna let that Tuscan chicken simmer in the crock pot for 6 to 8 hours. I'll check on it. And then at the very, very end is when you add the spinach so that it can so it can wilt. And I'll make sure to try and show you that if I can get the ring light working, or even if I can't, I'll probably still throw it in there. But I will check back with you in a bit. Take care. All right, my friends, that chicken is done. It's been about 6 hours. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this chicken, put the spinach in there so that it can wilt in the sauce. And then we're gonna pour the chicken right back over, or I'm sorry, pour the sauce right back over the chicken. And that chicken is super tender. See how it just falls apart? That's awesome. Oh yeah, it just falls apart there. Go ahead and sprinkle in the spinach. Give that a little whirl. And we'll let that sit until the spinach wilts. Woo! All right, the spinach is nice and wilted. So we're just gonna ladle that right back onto the chicken. That looks really good. Faith is ready for some. She said, give me a try. I'll try it. Oh, no, never mind. She doesn't like being on camera. She's like, it's not worth that.
I don't know where to go. He's hiding in plain sight.
All right, and there we go, our creamy Tuscan crock pot chicken. Looks good enough to eat, but I guess I'm gonna hold off until tomorrow. All right, my friends, there you have it. That is a very simple and easy dish to do. I was super excited how simple it was. You know, the hardest part was making that little sauce, but it was literally just mixing together a couple of ingredients, throwing everything in the crock pot, and then you're good to go. Low carb, I think there was only like 6 grams of carbs per serving, and pretty inexpensive as well. I actually got a gift card from work, and Katie got the groceries, so I don't know exactly how much everything was, but if I had to guesstimate, I would say that entire dish was maybe $15. And so, you know, that's 5 meals. So there's, so what, $3 a meal. Can't really beat that. Low carb, it smells amazing. So, in fact, let me just have a little nibble. Let's see how this tastes. Oh, that was a close-up, wasn't it? Good Lord. And that did turn out really, really good. The chicken is so tender, it would be good for shredding and things like that. And I might just do that and put it over some cauliflower rice. Who knows? But I hope you enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up. I would love to see some of your recipes, so comment down below. I am always looking for something new. There's only so many times I can Google a recipe, and quite frankly, I'm getting a little tired of chicken. So if you have something other than chicken or a new way to cook chicken that's low carb, I would love to hear about it and love to give it a try. Take care, my friends. Make sure to subscribe. Hit that bell when you subscribe so you get notified each time I create a video. I think I'm starting to come down with something. I'm feeling a little congested and up in here and in my chest. So I'm gonna unfortunately miss church this evening, and I also schlubbed down so I could kind of relax on the sofa. But I'll be up and kicking tomorrow, I promise. Anyway, have a great night, my friends. I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.